right, here we go. Whew. Hello, everyone. Sorry, the camera was not cooperating there for a second. Apologies on the delay. Let's get right into it. I was doing a little cleanup on the Laravel shift code base the other day, and I found some like old, columns, old tables even that that were kind of still floating around in the application. And I remembered a long time ago, as with all of my Laravel Additions, or all of the features in my Laravel Additions package, I attempted to PR these at one point in time. And so it was kind of like, hey, whatever happened to that, let's go see where it is. So I was digging through my old PRs here on the framework. Let's see if we can find this one. This was a very, very early one, in fairness, probably before I was really known in the community. So in fairness, like kind of to that point, like my merge rate is actually really, really good. Kind of looking at these nostalgically. There's only a few that are closed. Pretty much a lot of the stuff I send in was merged. But if we go way back, it's the opposite, right? Like it's more 50-50. So anyway, I did find it again. My third ever pushed in. Here is this naming conventions one. What was funny when I was trying to find this though? Check this out. Add an opt helper as a ternary shorthand. It was closed. Well, what's in the framework? Optional, right? It's funny because some of the things I do a lot of investing in the stock market, and one of the sayings is if you're early, you're wrong, right? Like if you make a trade too early before kind of the market moves the way you want, it's the same as being wrong. And a lot of these PRs early on, they were just too early. And it's kind of like as the framework matured and as Taylor maybe used more things within the framework himself, some of these things end up getting rebuilt and then merged later on. There's two or three like really good ones over the years that I did. If you go back and look, I actually had a PR for, and they just weren't quite right. They weren't quite like mature enough yet. It was like an early idea, and as such, it got closed or was quote unquote wrong. But then eventually made it in. The opt was one of them. The ID helper on migrations was another one. I think I had like primary or something. And Taylor maybe 6 months later reopened it and used ID. And then I think there was the class helper in the Blade directive. Those were kind of the three that like I did. If you go look at all of these PRs, they were closed, but eventually kind of made it in. So anyway, kind of to the point of this Laravel Additions package, that's kind of the hope. I'm going to put these in the Laravel Additions package because I know I want to use them. I don't want to wait until the framework kind of decides that, okay, yeah, now it's time. I'm going to put these in, and then maybe they'll get back in, right? And this is kind of the way Taylor likes to do it, right? He'll say, you'll see this on the PR if he closes it nowadays. Hey, this might be a package. Like, go try this as a package. So anyway, let's dive into this one, and let me kind of demonstrate what I was after. Okay, so basically, there are some naming conventions that are part of the migrations, right? So if you say, for example, create XXX table, it kind of knows to generate a stub that gives you a bit more inside, like pre-fills a little bit more inside of your migration. And then I kind of expanded on that again very early on, like Laravel 5.6, way back. What is this, like 7 years ago now, 8 years ago, to these other ones, right? So like, I kind of liked the idea of this. Now, some of this is a little bit too much. But the other day, for example, like I was dropping a table, I was dropping a column. I think add is maybe a little bit meh, but remove, drop, rename, some of these other things kind of makes sense, right? I think some of the from and tos are probably a little bit much. I think those are a little bit advanced, and given that I have Blueprint now, like, I'm not trying to generate your entire migration, but I think for like 3 or 4 very straightforward actions where you could, with a pretty high fidelity, like generate the code, like dropping a table, or dropping or renaming a table, or renaming a column, or adding a single column. I think, yeah, I think there's some opportunity here, right, to kind of do this. So there's a lot of code probably here in this PR that's still applicable. I don't think the migration command has changed that much. So what I would like to do is see if there's a possibility to tap into the migration command and have my Laravel Additions package like replace the migration command, so you could get some of these additional prettiness, right? Additional functionality. So anyway, I'm here in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Hey, Jeffrey, how's it going? Mateus, Daryl, thanks for joining live. My normal crew here, appreciate it. So today I don't think I'll build like all of this. I think today is kind of a spike from my kind of time on the extreme programming team. I'm just going to kind of like prove out the idea, because again, this code, the code to kind of do the renaming and so forth is probably here and probably still works. It's just a matter of kind of like collecting it. Like, see, I have all the stubs and so forth, right? Drop it if this, blah, 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 blah. Like, I think there's opportunity to probably pull a lot of the actual implementation. What I want to do is see probably a couple things. I want to see if in my Laravel Additions package, can I override the migrations? Can I swap out the migration command with mine? Because I don't want you to have to write like, make JMac migration, right? I want you to still be able to say PHP artisan make migration, and you get these extra things, right? It's just seamlessly added on. So that's the main thing I want to check today, if that's possible. That's the main thing I want to check today. If that's super quick and easy to do, then we'll get into the implementation. But I think, again, today's mostly a spike, mostly a proof of concept. So let's just say like Laravel new, and we'll just call it like smart migration. So let's just get smart migrations. So let's just get so none. We don't need any of this stuff right now. Doesn't matter. We'll stick with PHP unit. I don't think I'll be writing tests. I just want, again, kind of a fresh Laravel project to kind of hack this out. I'm just gonna mess around in the vendor folder, and we'll see like if this is possible. So while we're waiting, Laravel package overwrite core artisan command. Let's see if anybody's done this. Override artisan commands. Create your own command. Too much clutter. This app extend. This app extend. This will take precedence over the built-in down command. Okay. Interesting. This is 8 years ago, though. Anyway, seems like it's possible. Failure to download PHP unit. Okay, well, fine. I don't even need... we're not going to test. Like, what's the big deal? Hey, Adrian, how's it going? I don't think I'll be writing tests, says the guy giving a talk. Testing in 2 months. Yes. Again, this is a spike. By definition, we're just proving out the concepts. We're not, like, TDDing the entire thing today. Yeah, so that is the exact purpose of a spike, is to see if it's even possible before you extend or expend the development cost of writing something in full. So I think if you just define the command with the same signature, it overrides it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I do. What worries me is that same signature part, right? The same signature part kind of worries me because, like, if they change their core signature, does that mean all of like the arguments have to match too and the options? Because if they change it, are we not going to then override it? So I just want to make sure, again, it's seamless. I don't know why Composer is dying here. Let's just go into Laravel new. It didn't even make it. Okay, great. Let's try this again. RMRF Laravel new. Oh, smart. What did we call it? It's not here. Application already exists. Oh, smart migrations. Sorry. Smart migrations. There we go. Let's try a Composer update. See what happened. And while we're doing that, let's bring up PHP Storm. I don't know why the internet, I don't know if it was Composer or the internet, something seemed to get stuck there. Yeah, this is weird. That's weird. I feel like Packagist is maybe having like a micro outage. Anyway, let's get into new project. I hate PHP Storm's onboarding of projects. Just freaking open it already. Yeah, possibly the bind. I think there's like ways to do this. So again, I don't think, I mean, this looks like there's something here too. So we'll go check the docs. They might even like tell us. So I'm just trying to get PHP Storm to be happy for a second. Open, please, PHP Storm. Wow. Killing me, Smalls. All right. New project from existing files. Right here. Next. You can do it. There you go. It's just, I say this every time, and I apologize for being a broken record, but it is too many fucking clicks to open up a brand new project in PHP Storm. It's too many clicks. I think they have a command line helper in fairness, but like, whew, give me a break. Okay. The rest of this slowness is my Mac. So, okay, to that point, let's go check Laravel Artisan commands. Whoa, what is humming here? Why are we beach balling? We are just all sorts of slow today. Come on, computer. I recently upgraded the Mac OS, not to Tahoe, but there's definitely like that classic conspiracy theory of like when you upgrade your phone or your Mac or whatever, like it's just like, it's automatically slow. And it's not the operating system. Again, a lot of the times it's because the Mac, it's re-indexing itself, and it kind of tends to do that in the background. So you kind of never see where it's PHP Storm to that point is also indexing itself. So that's also what's taking a million years. But goodness me, let's read the docs while the iMac is catching up on some CPU cycles to see if they have anything about, extending a command. But yes, I think between the container and some other random stuff, we could probably hack it in there. But I'd like to see if there's like an official way. All right, let's find extend, maybe? Nope. Okay. Let's see here. Command IO, registering commands. With commands. Oh, well, you know what? We should probably be looking in the package section. Not packages. Don't they have like package development in here? I thought they had like a section on package development. Packages? Okay. That's not helpful. Packages. Oh, it's their packages. Don't they have like package development? Testing, where would this be? Digging deeper? Package development. Why is that not the first result? Package development. Am I crazy? Crazy people. All right. Commands. Here we go. To register your package, la 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 la. Okay. Once the command's been registered, you may execute them. Optimize commands. Optimizes. Oh, okay. That's nice. We could always go see what this optimizes does, right? We could probably see what this optimizes command does and kind of see what happens, right? So, okay, let's do this. Now that that's all cut up, let's do composer require Jason McCreary Laravel Additions. Let's bring in mine. And then we'll get in the vendor folder and hack it out and see if we can override the migration command. So if we get into vendor and we get into Laravel Additions and we get into the Additions service provider, we know we could definitely do this boot thing, right? So if you're running in console, yep, just do it. So if you're running in console, this commands. So I think they said this extend. See, I think extends is old school. I think it's maybe this app extends. Yeah, see, I think extends is old school. I think extends is like a bind. You'd have to know what the migration command was, right? Okay, artisan starting resolve commands. Resolve commands. Oh, we're not gonna get good completion because we're deep in the vendor folder. All right, that's fine. Let's take this out. First of all, let's get in here and let's add a new. Let's just add a new directory called commands. And let's add in a new PHP class called migration command. And then let's do namespace, JMac, additions, whoops, commands, la la. All right, cool. And then let's extend the migration generator command. No, that's not right. Who uses this? I don't think it's that. It's like migration make command. That's what it is. It's like make migration. I think it's called like, where is it? Migrate make command. There it is. I knew it had make in it. Okay. Cool. Let's see if simply by doing this, it overrides it. So let's change this to migration command, kill that. And what we'll do is in handle, we'll just dd. Let's just dd JMac migrations. All right. So PHP artisan make migration. Nope. Okay, so we can't do it that way. It's not that simple, unless there's some kind of pre-hook. But I mean, it should call handle immediately. So that's not it. What if I pass it like a full thing? Is this some fanciness? So let's pass it like the args. No, it just made it. Okay. So it's not as simple as that. And we are getting here, I assume, right? Here. We're not getting there. we need to like dump auto load? We might have to dump auto load. Composer, dump, auto load. It's interesting that it's not saying here. Why would that not be? It's auto loaded, so it should auto load that. Are we getting in here? Oops. Why are we not auto loading our package? That should, register should definitely fire. Is this gonna be one of those days where like stuff's just weird for me all day long? Let's see here. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it should be auto-registered. It should be auto-discoverable. Oh, it's deferrable. It's deferrable. I wonder if that's having an effect. Let's get rid of deferrable and see what happens. Let's make this a little more extreme. Let's do it. Let's do a DD. Let's try this again. Composer, dump, auto load. There it is. Okay. So it must be something to do with the must have been something to do with its deferrable state. I'll have to read up on that. There we go. Okay. So we're registered now, and now we're dumping. Okay, so that might be part of the problem. Okay, so custom stuff. Okay. Okay. There we go. We're actually, so the deferred was actually hurting us. Okay, so unresolvable dependency, custom stub path in class migrator. Okay. So there's something about the deferred. There's something about the deferred that is keeping this from registering the migration command. It seems like it is actually overriding, or at least attempting to register our migration command now, because it's actually trying to do some stuff with the stub path a little too high up. So let's put deferred back in here. It's probably a matter of, since I'm deferring it, I need to put this command registry in a different spot. That's probably what's happening. See, right now, all of the stuff that this package does is really just provide you with a bunch of traits. So in fairness, it doesn't even need a service provider because it's not registering anything. I've just put one in here as kind of a placeholder, and as such, I've deferred it. So, because it doesn't do anything. But now that I actually want to do something, I need to not probably defer it, or at least do it the right way. So let's go figure that out. Where is deferred? It's probably up here somewhere is my guess. Okay, so publishes, default package configuration, we don't need that. Routes, migrations. We don't publish any migrations or language files. We might do stubs, so we'll have to figure that out. Overriding package views, view components. Let's find defer in here somewhere. How is defer not in here? What is going on? Did I spell it wrong? Deferrable providers not even in the docs? Man, it is one of those days, isn't it? Jeez. What is going on here? What is going on here? What does this even mean? Get the service providers provides. Get the service providers provided by the provider. Does preverbal like not call boot? It's under providers, not, okay, that's fair. This is where the docs are a little bit tough because, like, to Adrian's point, you have to know, okay, I'm developing a package. I want to make it a deferred provider. Okay, that's not package development. That would go find that under providers. Like, there should probably be a note that links you over somewhere else. And I get that that would be very hard to make the like docs like webbish like that, but it's just, yeah. I mean, I don't even, now I gotta figure out how providers is categorized. I mean, I guess you just search, right? Here we go, service providers. So, I mean, the docs kind of, you have to do the search, but like to the point a minute ago, like if I do package, I get a million packages here. I guess you got to know to do package development. Here we go, there it is. So like, there's gives and takes. Okay, if your provider is only registering bindings in the service container, you may choose to defer its registration until one of the registered bindings is actually needed. Deferring the loading of such a provider will improve the... Great. Laravel complies. Okay. Get the services provided by the provider. Connection class. Okay. And that's fair because we're not doing anything with it. But I guess because we are now loading commands, that's no longer possible. So here's what I think we should do. Clearly overriding the command the way we're doing, like, I agree that with the chat, like, that could work. But it seems like because this is a core command, it seems to have some dependencies. There's some order of operations that's happening here that when we're registering ours, some of these other things, like the migration creator, like this is not set up yet. So I think we might have a better chance at figuring out where and how in the container the migration make command is registered and seeing if we could tap into that. That would be the thing I would like to try to do instead. That way everything could just be booted up the way we want and, go from there. So let's just see if like this is in the container somewhere, right? Probably not, because it probably just comes to life elsewhere, but oh my God, quit. So console service providers. Oh, this is in cache. Okay, so database console, migrate. Okay, so let's get under directory and look under, let's just look under the Laravel source. Okay, migrate make. What is this? Migrate make, where's this? So migration service provider gives you commands. Sure. Register commands, this commands. What does this do? This register blah 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 command. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. We got a chance here, I think. There might be a chance here. Singleton. Okay. Let's look at this class. Migrate make command. Once we have the migration creator registered, we will create the command. Okay, and that might be the problem. We didn't have that before. So, can we override this somehow? Migration service provider. Migration service provider. There's a lot of stuff in here. here in the chat. Let's see what you all are saying. I was able to get the command override to work, sent a gist above. I don't think links come across in my stuff. Vendor patch, lol. Yeah, I think we're all catching up now. Yes. So we see that this is pushed in through the container. Like that makes sense. I was able to get the command override to work, sent a gist above, but I think it got filtered. Yes, it did get filtered. Daniel. Easy override the class in the container. I don't know about easy. But yes. I think through the container is an option. This feels pretty dense though. This feels pretty dense. I'm curious what Daniel was able to do if he's claiming that he could. Are you saying you overrode the command by simply registering your own of the same name, or are you saying, Daniel, that you overrode it in the container as well? Because if you overrode in the container, then we'll just go this route. So let me know. I appreciate the gist doesn't come across, but let's just do this and see what happens. So we got migrate make command, and instead of returning theirs, we'll return ours. Migration command, right? Do we need to provide? Get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And I don't know if we need to provide this or not. I would think so based on what we read in the deferred bit. So we'll just say that. And let's just watch it explode, right? So we're still deferred. Now when we do PHP artisan make migration. Nope. So that's not it. Are we getting in here, or has the singleton already been made? Dump register. Okay, it got in there. So why would our handle not be called yet if it supposedly got in there? It got in here. Oh, maybe it hasn't started building yet. Maybe it's got a pre-hook for it might have a pre-hook for this. Testing pre-hook? Yeah, okay. So it's got a pre-hook. Okay, that makes sense. It's got a pre-hook for the prompts to gather all of the arguments. That makes sense. Okay, that's fair. So, but if we were to say something like drop column whatever, there it is. Okay. Okay. This feels, I don't like this part. I don't like that I have to like copy code from core. Cause like what if any of this changes, right? So I don't like that part. So I think Daniel, just Twitter DM me your gist. I'll take a look. Copy the singleton code to your provider. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't seem like me simply registering a make command and allowing the names to overwrite would work. So my guess is you're doing this also, which I'm not a huge fan of. I wish this was a little more seamless, but we'll just say something like mirror of, where was that? This is 159. So let's say migration service provider. Migration service provider. All right. yeah. Again, this will work. Not the biggest fan. I wish it was a little smoother. And this was a pretty old answer, so I know just from writing shifts that like app extend is a bit different now. So that's fine. But yeah. I wish it were a little bit more like this. But even if it were like this, I would still have to pull stuff out of I would still still need to do this, even if I was rebinding it. So this isn't the end of the world. It achieves what I want to achieve, right? So now, I'm not gonna do this today, but now let's go back to this core stuff and let's just kind of get a feel for like what all I'm changing in here now, right? Because I may do a little bit of setup before next time. So to me, it seems like definitely I would need a lot of the stubs, right? And then it looks like, what did I really change in the make command bit? Next we'll attempt to guess. Okay, so this came out. Okay, it's all down in this migration creator. So really, honestly, really, I might even be able to use... I might not have to get this heavy-handed. I might just be able to pull this one out. I might just be able to pull that out. Let's take a look. I mean, because it seems like from here, we're pulling out the path stub. The migration creator and the population of the stub happens in migration creator. So it's maybe, yeah, replace the placeholders, figure out which dummy class it is. I might just be able to get away with swapping this out in the container, to be honest. That would feel a little better to me. That would feel a little better to me if I pulled out migration creator instead. Let's just dig around in vendor real quick. Where is migration creator? Okay, we got another singleton. We got another singleton that pops out all the stuff. Okay. Gotcha. And it pulls a base path for stubs. And then ours would need to know that the stubs could come from here as well. So that's another thing, right? It's like the extra stubs. Because yeah, I wouldn't want you to have to publish stubs per se. So we could have like a fallback in there of like, okay, if they're in the base path stubs, then you published them or whatever, and you've altered them the way you like. Great. Otherwise, it would fall back on the internal stubs. So we could look at that. This might be more of what we want to do. We might just want to tap into this instead. That way we're not messing with the command, because we're not going to add any command arguments. All we're really trying to do, again, is if we go back and look, all of this is really migration creator. This, whatever I changed here on the snake case is probably, that probably doesn't need to happen right now. And we would have to look. We would have to look about this. Like, is this still in here? Of how it gets passed down? So yeah, I think in an ideal case, we would just override migration creator. I would feel a lot better about that. But the point is, given what migration creator brings to the table, no pun, we just need to make sure that it gets kind of the raw names. So let's go look. Okay, you can do, okay. You can pass in things. Okay, fair enough. Where was that we changed? It's the final piece I want to look at. I like I said, talked about last time, like I like keeping, I want this to like kind of be on the back burner of my mind. So around line 80, 7 years ago, Okay, table guesser. Okay, I see. If they don't bring in table, then we did some preg stuff to figure out what it was. Okay. Write migration. This gets into the creator create, and it passes it table or create. Okay, so table guesser. What is table guesser? Okay, hey, that's nice. To, from, in, create, blah, 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 table, change patterns, create patterns. So technically speaking, I would have like drop patterns and stuff. But again, I could potentially, well, it's static. Shit. I don't think I'd be able to override this. But this to, from, in is kind of nice. The to, from, in is kind of nice. The other thing too is like the creator gets the full name of the migration. So my creator could always just reparse out the table name, in certain scenarios. Like if we knew it wasn't create, then we could potentially just reparse the table name. So that, I don't think that's a showstopper. So I think all that is to say that instead of this, overriding this, we're going to override this. Instead, we're going to override this. And let's see what this looks like. Let's override this and get back over here. Oh, where was that? That was in like the migrations provider. Yeah, there it is. This guy. I want you. I want you. And let's instead return that. And we're going to give it our migration creator. So let's go back to our project. We'll get into support and let's just throw in our own little PHP class migration creator. All right, and then we'll extend, yes, the migration creator, thank you. And what can we just dump in here real quick? Let's just get into create and dump the function arguments, right? So public function create, perfect. And then let's just dd the func get args. Let's see if this is still working. Nope. All right. Oh, we don't register that. Hold on. Boop. We need to do ours too, I think. No, it did. Okay. No, it didn't. It did theirs. We may not need this. We might not. I don't know. We want to do ours now. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. And I think that's the wrong path. Why is that thinking we have it in here? I should have JBack support migration creator. There we go. Yes. Okay. That feels a little better. Let's try this again. There it is. Okay, cool. So we don't need to output that because we're straight registering into the container, right? I'm not sure if you would need to do this or not. I mean, clearly it doesn't hurt anything. But here's kind of the point. Like drop column, whatever, doesn't pull that out. But like if we said something like drop column from users, yeah, see, it still doesn't know because it's not the create thing. So we could have something like change. Yeah, it's not picking up table or create. So that table guesser, again, is very specific to create. You have to have the create prefix, I think, for that to work. And that's kind of the whole point of this addition, right? I want to be able to say other verbs or other actions at the beginning of my migration and have that conventionally generate, again, a more intelligent stub the way the create stuff is already doing. So rename, drop, remove, potentially simple adds. like I want that to kind of all tweak the stubs. So again, a lot of that code's there. I think today again was just kind of spiking out this. This seems to work. So next week, I'll start pulling in the old code. We'll get it up to speed from being, we'll knock the dust off of it from being a 7-year-old PR. But I think this feels a little more surgical to me. I think this is the approach. It's the migration creation that we want to override and extend. And that's what we'll be doing. That's what we'll be doing here with ours, right? So we'll just extend theirs, and then we have full access to whatever methods we need to tweak to kind of do the right thing. So I think that's the approach. I think we've proven it out. Thanks everybody for joining me on that journey. Let's see what we got in the chat here. So vendor patch, composer patches will fix it. Quegan's composer, Adrian, what's wrong with the composer patch, vendor patch? I don't know what's going on. Or you can hook it up to OpenAI and generate a migration name. Yeah. Again, like if you're wanting to generate like a full-on migration or something crazy, like I would just use Blueprint. Or to your point, like jump in AI if you want to sit there and type out a story of what your migration is, fine. This is just like simple. These are just simple actions, like these one-off actions, like drop table. If I say drop users, it would be cool if Laravel just like got it correctly, right? So, I'm not expecting or wanting this to generate some kind of full migration for a brand new, conference model. Like that's not this thing's goal or purpose. Adrian, the static. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. So to monkey patch that static call, there's some composer thing. There's a package out there to monkey patch things. Cool. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining live. I will see you next Wednesday, and we'll keep cranking on this.